Hello and welcome. In this lecture we'll be talking about if statements in C#. So basically if statement is kind of a statement that if it is met or isn't met, some kind of code will execute. So basically it goes like if, and then we open up brackets, and this is where we want our code to happen. And here as conditions we can have many things. For example, variables, integers, booleans, and strings. One example would be if variable bool, which can be either true or false, I can say is true. Now notice here I'm using two equal signs. Well, two equal signs are used to compare if this variable has this value inside of it. If you remember, for assigning we used variable bool and one equal sign. This means that if variable when the game starts, we will set variable bool to be true, and then here we say if this is true, then we execute some kind of code. What kind of code do we execute depends on if we have nothing after the if statements. So this means that the next line of code will be executed. But if we have kind of like curly brackets like this, then this means that everything inside these curly brackets would be actually executed. So we could say something like debug.log hello, and we could also change the value of maybe number and set it to 2. Now if I save this, I can actually delete this variable bool here, and I will just demonstrate something. And if I go back into Unity, if I can click on my ground just to see if my script is attached, and it isn't, so actually the game object 1, and it is. Now variable bool is set to false, as you can see here. So that means that we shouldn't call the method print buckets, and we will be updating this each frame. So each frame we're saying if variable bool is true, we want these things to happen. Then we will call the print bucket method, which basically prints the value of variable bool, our name, and a number. If we go back into Unity, we can see that the number is 10 now, but if you remember, if our if statement is met, it will be changed to 2. So now if we run it, nothing should be debugged, okay. But if we change variable bool here, you will see we get true, Kevin, hello, and 2. So first, because how it works, it goes, first it does this, then this, and then this. So it first printed out all of these values, and the number was 10, and then number was set to 2, so it was changed, and you can see 10 was called once, but 2 was called 500 times. We can now close this. I will clear my console. Another thing we can check after if statements, we can say else. So when this isn't true, we want to do something different. So we can say a variable, I will now, okay, else, what could we say? We can also have one line, like number is equal to 5, or we could do the open up curly brackets, if I can find them, and then we can say in here number to 5. So now what we're going to do is, when this is true, we will print these values, and first number will be 10, then we set it to 2, and then when we reset this boolean and then enable it again, number will be 5. So now if I run my code, so now what it does, it checks if variable bool is true, but it isn't, so it does this code. So number is set to 5. So if we enable our variable bool, if we set it to true, we will get once 5 and 2 other times. Let's clear this again and go back into Unity. Also, we can say else and have another statement, else if number is equal to, we can say greater than or equal to maybe 12, we will say debug.log more than 12. So now if we save this, we're going to run the game, and nothing is happening. So this code isn't executing because our number isn't greater than or equal to 12, it's 10. But if I set it to 15, we have more than 12. But then if I set variable bool to be true, we print out our usual things, and more than 12 isn't printed out. So we can disable it. And again, so no number is 2, so we don't print anything. But if we set it to 15, we start getting more than 12. So that's basically how if statements work. Thank you for watching, and next time we will cover more loops. See you then.